I think that's a very interesting question, because I'll tell you why I feel this is my personal idea, maybe not a VistaMind idea as such. I think quality teachers, when we were kids, I think teachers came to teach because they wanted to teach. Very simple. There was no money aspect of it or etc. kind of things. But I think things have changed in the last 20 years, 15 years. If you want good teachers, you need to pay them, and you pay them very well. If you look at US or Europe, or for that matter even some of the other places I think of, I think the universities are good, the schools are good, because the teachers are paid very, very well. So those guys don't have to worry about what they have to do for their kids back in life. India has been wrongly, maybe I said, that Gurukul system, saying that look, the teacher Guru Dakshina is to be in kind, not in cash, etc. kind of things. Maybe we have lived those lives. I think we need to move on and make sure that the best teachers are well provided for. And if they are well provided for, we will attract better teachers into this system. Whether you look at a school system, college system, engineering, degree, wherever it is, I think we don't have the best guys. Why does a coaching system work? Is because coaching institutes pay pretty well, and to the best teachers, therefore. The best teachers survive there. And if they survive and they are paid well, obviously they will teach better than any school education system that can be provided with a low cost education in that sense. I think, to my mind, that is the significant gap. And our idea is to give that gap, or get that people, the best people who are going to investment banking and private equity funds or banks and or FMCGs trying to sell marketing, and those guys are brilliant guys. They want to come back to this teaching. I mean, I have seen lots of my classmates, my batchmates, my juniors want to come back to education. The only thing restricts them is, do I get enough money, or I have to scrape through for my basic living itself? What will happen to my wife, my kids, my parents, etc. So that's point number one. The other thing that I think of it is, if I can put together such a kind of a system where value is given to the person who is giving education, like not make it a taboo that okay, making profits in education is negative. I think half the best of the people will want to come back.
Just to add to that point, one of the, you asked for what is one of the serious deficiencies or lacunae. The biggest lacuna I see is the lack of positively motivated and driven individuals running education establishments. A large part of it is because, I believe, it's my personal opinion and I hold it fairly strongly, that a highly controlled education system is, in my opinion, not capable of attracting quality talent to drive quality education institutions. A far more free, liberal system of education where anyone is free to provide. As a simple point, what do I mean by this? What is lacking actually is a system of incentives and disincentives for people to provide quality education. Today, many education institutions can get away with it without providing quality education because they fulfill norms set up by the overall governing agencies which decide who may offer education and who may not offer education. As long as you're fulfilling norms, it doesn't matter whether your education is of quality, good quality, or of poor quality. So as long as many institutions can survive providing poor quality education while meeting the so-called norms, you will have many more institutions that meet the norms but do not provide quality education. I would liken this to, the analogy I would draw is this thing. There is this law called Gresham's law, which is used in talking about money. They say bad money drives out good money. That is, if someone forces in the market money that is of lower value to be treated on par with money which is actually treated by people of higher value, the money of higher value goes out of circulation and all you are left with is the bad money. So that's basically what is happening. When you have a system that incentivizes, makes it possible for the bad money to circulate, the good money goes out of circulation. So somehow the challenge is to bring the good money back into circulation, and for that What is required is actually, if you ask me, a free market in education. But what we have is far from a free market. What do I mean by a free market? A school that doesn't perform well should be allowed to shut down. I mean, the market, institutions should shut down if they don't offer quality. People should be free to desert institutions that don't offer quality and flock to institutions that of people or institutions that offer quality. Anybody should be free to offer education in any manner he or she feels fit, and people should be free to take any form of education as they feel fit for themselves or their children. So this is a very it's a very revolutionary way of looking at the whole thing. But if one were to look at the system as a problem rather than as something that can be reformed, then one would be able to understand what I'm talking of.